Hey, happy Sunday morning, everyone. It's Glenn from the basement. Where else would I be? Always in my basement. Um, Sunday morning musings. What's going on in the world of music? What's happening in my head? Let's figure it out. First of all, the passing of a prog rock legend. Anybody know the name Pete Sinfield? If you're into prog rock and you're into King Crimson, you will certainly know the name Pete Sinfield. Pete was an integral member of King Crimson as the lyricist. He wrote all the lyrics to this album. I'm going to say, generally speaking, all the lyrics. Somebody's going to say, well, he didn't write the line in Epitaph, but for all intents and purposes, he wrote a lot of the lyrics. Let's just put it that way. Very important to this album, which is the father of prog rock and the greatest prog rock album of all time from 1969. The first song they worked on of Pete's was I Talk to the Wind. Also, what's important is Pete was the one who came up with the name King Crimson. There we go. A legend. Passed away on the 14th. Rest in peace, Pete. You left quite a legacy. I want to mention this while I'm talking about In the Court of the Crimson King. If anybody's into reading rock biographies, I love them. I've got a ton of them. I've read a ton of them. And one of my favorites, if I had to rank my top 5 biographies of all time that I've read, it would be this one by Sid Smith, In the Court of the Crimson King, an observation over 50 years. Fantastic book. Fantastic read. Well written. So much great information. Stories told in a great way. It's just really a good frickin' book. So that's my King Crimson stuff for this morning. Next, I have a buddy who's an author, and I'm really proud of him. He has written 3 books with a 4th one just released, which I want to tell you about. He wrote a book on Nazareth, Cheap Trick, and The Guess Who was his last book. You might recall I had him on my channel for a chat if you were watching to promote the last book. He's in another level now. He's written a book about Steven Van Zandt's musical career. Solidarity Forever, The Art and Soul of Stevie Van Zandt. Great cover, isn't it? Show you this for a second. Where'd it go? To my old pal Glenn, keep rocking in the basement, Robert Lawson. So that's the book. There's the name. So these are not biographies. So which makes them really enjoyable for music fans because we don't get the salacious crap about who slept with who and how many drugs they took and how many hotel rooms they threw TVs out the windows and all that stuff. Who needs it? If you're a music fan, you want to know about the music, and that's what these books are. They're not biographies. They're not completely discographies. So I've been calling them biscographies. You can use that if you want, Robert, if you're watching. Anyway, this discography about Stevie Van Zandt is amazing. I am 40 pages in. I also got this cool Steven Van Zandt bookmark from him. I picked it up on Friday. I'm 40 pages in and loving it. It's the stories told through a music career, right from your early age when they first started playing guitar and where they played first and the bands they joined and first recordings and live performances, bands they played in, records they worked on, who they worked with, told chronologically. With Steven Van Zandt, he's got a great subject here. We're talking about a member of the legendary E Street Band. We're talking about star of The Sopranos, the greatest TV show ever made. We're talking about a producer, a songwriter, singer, leader of his own band called the Disciples of Soul. This is a pretty interesting dude. And this takes Robert into another stratosphere as far as I'm concerned in terms of subject matter. But anyway, pick up this book. It's really good. And I have never owned a Steven Van Zandt album. Um, and ever since Robert told me he's working on this book, I started looking for stuff. And I found a live album that I put in my Amazon cart and I never pulled the trigger on. And when I went to pick up the book on Friday, um, Robert manages a record store in Toronto, and I said, "You got any little Steven CDs?" And he takes me over. He says, "I got a couple," and he has the live one that I've been looking for. So this is it: Little Steven and the Disciples of Soul, Summer of Sorcery live at the Beacon Theater. What a fun album this is! Now, if you like rock and roll, if you like garage band rock, if you like soul music, if you like punchy horns, if you like to have a party when you listen to music, this is an album for you. Check it out. It's so high energy, so much fun. It's a freaking, I'm so glad I bought this. It's just a fun listen. And amazing. So this is a 3 record set. I'm specifically talking to you, Rich Strickler, and you, Randy Nelson. I think you both would love this frickin' album. It's a 3 CD set, so if you're looking it up on Spotify just to check out disc 3 because it's kind of the finale and it's all the whole album's great. I don't think there's a bad track on it. It's just fun, and the last disc is really high energy as you would expect. Anyway, that's it. Next, there's a release coming out December 13th, I think. It's Jerry Garcia, David Grisman. I think they're calling it the Duo Recordings. It's 3 CD set or 2. I think it's 2 records. Maybe it's more. So they've taken all the work that collaboration that David and Jerry did. I'd say from the late 80s to up until Jerry's death in 1995. They worked together, put out albums. Some great stuff. And this was my favorite, Garcia Grisman. Now, what they've done is they've eliminated all other supporting artists, and it's just pure Jerry and David. Guitar and mandolin. It's going to be amazing. If you're interested in that, put it on your list. It's going to be good. Next, what else am I listening to? Daryl Hall. I saw Daryl Hall. I'm a big Hall & Oates fan. I saw Daryl Hall past summer, and he was great. He put on a really good show, played a ton of great songs, had a great band, really enjoyable night of music, and one of my favorite singers of all time. A couple of years ago, Daryl put out this compilation CD called Before After. It is, just all his solo stuff in a compilation, 2 disc set. Great stuff on here. Dreamtime's a great song. There's some stuff live from Daryl's house, like he does "Here Comes the Rain Again" with Dave Stewart. It's just really a wealth of really great pop soul music. If you like Hall & Oates, check this one out. Before After, really good. Last but not least, I've always been a big fan of the Allman Brothers. I don't listen to as much as I used to. Back in the 70s, I was a freaking huge fan. I saw them in Buffalo, New York, 1974, I think it was, when they were promoting the Brothers and Sisters album. Great tour. And this was released, I don't know, 10 years ago maybe or something. I don't know how long ago now. But it's a deluxe edition, anniversary edition of some kind of the Allman Brothers band, Brothers and Sisters. I think this is probably their best-selling album. I didn't look it up, but I imagine this sold the most. So anyway, there's a remastered album, and then second disc of rehearsals, jams, and outtakes, previously unreleased. And there's a live show, 2 discs, discs 3 and 4, live at Winterland, September 26, 1973. Pretty cool set if you can find it. Really good. I also really dig this Fox box. This is the lineup that includes Derek Trucks and Warren Hayes. I mean, if you don't have Dickie and Dwayne, you can't do better than getting Derek and Warren in your band. These are 3 nights of shows from the Fox Theater in Atlanta, Georgia. It is 2004 shows released in 2017. Lots of discs. I don't know how many discs are in here. There's a lot. 1, 2, 3. There's like 3, 6, 8 discs of shows. Fantastic stuff. Everything you'd ever want to hear from the Allman Brothers, plus special guest artists showing up, and really cool. I understand they're releasing the last Allman Brothers show ever is being released. I don't know if it's out yet or it's coming out, but that'll be pretty cool. Anyway, that's it. I hope everyone has a great Sunday. We will talk soon. Take care.